Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today there's even more news. It's a good news for 3K stuff, it really is. Not only have we had the DLC announced, no, there's also a patch. Although I think this is still in beta at the moment, but we'll see. So, it's got the usual instructions of how to get it, so, you know, right-click on your Steam library, get the patch, you know, the old beta thing. You can do that if you want, you can follow these instructions. There's going to be a link to this article in the description. So, alright then, the family and court patch fixes a lot of issues raised by the community, but also adds in some of the requested family features that we have seen discussed since launch. We want to make sure that with every patch, the game is becoming more stable and overall better Total War experience. Please keep giving us your feedback and thoughts on every aspect of the game. Honestly, with this community, I think it's impossible not to. Whether it's negative or positive, you guys always seem to be on it. So anyway, those of us working on Three Kingdoms are thrilled with the enthusiasm you've shown thus far. Highlights. View any faction's family tree at any time with a new UI in the family tree tab. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. So you can see how different, different opponents link. So if you're at war with someone, you can see who the faction leader's family is, so you can see who might, who might annoy him if you execute them and stuff, I guess. So you can just get a little more info, which I think is a good thing. I think that's great, because having that, all involved, yeah, give us all the information. I mean, there's already so much information there, but just give us all of it, and they have, so that's lovely. New faction-wide effects from Satisfaction to give the mechanic more impact. Okay, that's cool. That's interesting. Very much looking forward to seeing what that is, so keep people happy. And bonuses, hooray! Several improvements to make marriages easier to arrange, especially in the late game. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that'll just be a general, just like plus modifier to, diplomatic sort of, whatever, your diplomatic sort of, I don't really know what to call that, when it's like, oh, give me some rice, and it'll be like, that's a minus 50, and then I'll give you some money, that's a plus 20, that thing. Whatever you'd call those figures. I don't know if it'll just be a modifier to those figures on marriages. Could be. It seems a simple fix, a simple thing to do for that. But also there's the slight side effect of if it's too much of a positive, then you're going to be able to just sort of trade your family members for like a lot of stuff very easily, and that could be exploitable potentially. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll always stay slightly in the negative, at least for the most part. So it doesn't sort of get you weird bonuses in diplomacy. But we'll see. We'll see how that works. So improved features. We've added the ability to view the family trees for all factions. This feature is accessible from the family tree tab, where you'll find a new menu on the right hand side. Use the feature to work out where to disrupt an inheritance line, check on which factions have marital bonds, or keep an eye on your adopted spy. Pretty cool. Please note that, as per their playstyle, Yellow Turbans don't have family trees. Yeah, fair enough. Satisfaction now has more importance. Your court having an overall high or low satisfaction now results in the following faction-wide bonuses or debuffs. This is very cool. I like this a lot. High satisfaction overall, lowers corruption. Oh, that is so good. And gives more supplies. That is amazing. I love that. So just more sort of cooperation and less skimming off the top in order to keep yourself happy. That's great. I really like this. Low satisfaction, slower XP gain. Okay. Less military supplies, and higher corruption. So I like that. I like that a lot. I think this is really cool, because there's so much of a character focus, there should be more emphasis on actually keeping your characters pleased. So I think that's really interesting. I really like that. You'll find your overall satisfaction level in the top left-hand corner, underneath the court and diplomacy icons. The gender of newborn babies is now accurately weighted to 50-50. Makes sense. This should make it easier to continue family lines and to organise marriages in the mid to late game. Okay, so that's how they've changed it, is it? You can now arrange marriage for any single members of your court. This costs 4,000 gold each time and can be performed on any court member's family or not. That's really good. I really like that. That's good. Just being able to marry off more characters and get more, you'll just get more characters out of it, So that's really cool. So, yeah, I like this. There will now be more historical and fewer random characters spawning in the world. Okay, so there's actually historical characters weren't spawning that often. You'd think there'd be a pretty much 100% chance of all the historical characters to spawn, but hey, that's all fine. We've made some visual improvements to Swen Ren and Jen Jan's face models. Okay, interesting. I wonder how happy a lot of people will be for that, because there's all the ridiculous nonsense on Reddit all the time. It's a bit creepy, if I'm honest. We've updated the offensive word filter for the multiplayer leaderboards and lobby names. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Bug fixes. You will no longer get an untrustworthy penalty when protecting vassals. This is probably the biggest change ever. So good. This is amazing. I think it's brilliant. That was the most irritating thing in the world. I hated that, and I also hated this. AI will not retreat while in forced march stance. This was something that was so critical and just woeful in when Warhammer first came out. Because you'd end up with... It was always when you played the Empire. It was... was it Carrick Norn, I think? They got replaced by Skarsnik. Sort of, you know, later on when he was released. But yeah, they'd just run around the Empire, just looting one of your settlements and then running off again. They'd stay in forced march stance the whole time and you couldn't catch them. It was so irritating. And yeah, so the fact they repeated that mistake in 3K was a bit of a shame. Though I find it hasn't been as much of a problem for me in 3K. But it does mean that if they have forced march, there's no retreating, and that's a good thing. You now won't take attrition damage on the same turn as being besieged. Brilliant. This has been my probably #1 complaint. Certainly the thing I've complained about, you know, the most frequently. It's always been annoying because you would besiege an enemy and they wouldn't have taken attrition if they sally forth and attack you. But if they attack you and you're besieged on your turn, you can sally forth, but you've already taken attrition, and that was really frustrating. Because yeah, it wasn't the same for both of you. If they took attrition too, then fine, you know, but they didn't. It was just you, and that was very unfair. So I like that they've changed that. Fixed a lock where you could get stuck on the Declaration of War screen when in a coalition. Okay, I wasn't aware of that one, but it's good it's fixed. The AI are no longer able to attack other factions and you while in forced march. Really? That was something they could do? Cheeky sods. Well, yeah, okay, good, that's been fixed. To more accurately mirror their historical counterparts, Guan Yu and Xiang Fei will no longer betray their sworn brother Liu Bei. Alright, I didn't know that ever happened, but again, that's very funny. Alongside this, Guan Yu will never betray anyone. That is so him. That is so him. He ended up actually working for Cao Cao for a little while, because Cao Cao was nice to him, and just he was honor bound not to be a jerk, even though he didn't much like the guy. Liu Bei was against Cao Cao. So that was pretty interesting, fun little bit of the story. So yeah, Guan Yu never betraying anyone, to like a ludicrous extent. It's pretty funny. It's great. He's just so honor bound to do anything. If someone treats him well, he has to treat them well. He's stuck with that. It's hilarious. So that makes a lot of sense. Increase the number of characters the Yellow Turbans factions acquire to prevent them running out in the late game. Okay, that makes sense. Although I found I got a weird, massive injection of characters in the late game. Just randomly, before this patch, so I don't know. But still, I was running low for quite some time. But that is nice because it's tricky. It's tricky. The spouse symbol will no longer appear for divorced characters. Okay. I didn't know characters could actually get divorced, so that's interesting. Mediating peace for your vassal no longer causes you to declare war on the faction instead. Wow, that's not good. I didn't know that was a thing. That is bad. Female names will no more be bestowed on male characters. Okay, fair enough. That's the thing, I don't know enough about the names to have noticed that. I don't know which names are necessarily female or male in China, so I hadn't noticed it personally, but still, that makes a lot of sense to fix that. Fixed a few missing text scenarios, alright then. Resolved a few factual errors around Kong Rong's father's name and age. Okay. Fixed an audio issue with many hero armor sets not making the right sound when hit. Oh. Fixed a text implying that the Han will declare independence if you refuse their call for aid. Fixed a crash when trying to watch a replay of a battle on a downloaded map when the player who downloaded the map quits the game and then reloads it. Wow, that seems like a very specific crash, but hey, it's fixed. Stop downloads of modded maps causing the game to go unresponsive for a long time. Fix an issue where, after downloading a map, players would be split into separate lobbies. That's very strange. Exploit fixes. Fix an exploit allowing more than 3 generals in multiplayer ranked battles. Wow, how on earth did they manage that? That's bad. Good, that's fixed. You can no longer exploit the marriage system for income. Oh, okay. So apparently it was exploitable even before they changed things in it, so that's great. That's very good. You cannot use the best friends reputation for free money. Good, because again, it was silly. Thing, a lot of these, any exploits like this, right? Any exploits, I just don't use them, right? I play the game as intended, otherwise it's boring to me. But a lot of people do, for some reason, find this game breaking. So if you think it's breaking your game, don't do it. I don't know. It seems odd to me, but hey, it's good. It's fixed. For some reason, people think, oh, the game's silly that it lets you do this. It's like, yeah, they don't expect people to do this, so whatever. You cannot use the best friend's reputation for free money. Fix the infinite money through rounding exploit. Don't quite know what that means. I don't know. fine, that's fixed. You can no longer buy certain territories and immediately sell them back for more. That's hilarious. Good you can't do that. You can no longer continually divorce new spouses and use them to initiate new marriages and generate infinite characters. Oh wow. Okay then. So yeah, a lot of exploits sorted out. That's always the case with a an early patch on a game like this. There's always a bunch of little weird quirks that people find. So yeah, it's good they're on top of it at least. But yeah, where is it? These three are just so good. Those changes just alone are just massive. They are so big to me. Like, just the amount of attrition you'd suffer so unfairly. It was always very annoying. It was cheapy, it was cheeky, it was cheap and cheeky. I didn't like it. And here, yeah, force march stance, still be able to retreat. It just makes some characters impossible to catch. And yeah, having someone declare war on your vassal that you have a non-aggression pact, you'd then defend your vassal because your vassal is under attack, and apparently that'd be you breaking your agreement. Like, no. Obviously, if you've got a non-aggression pact with someone, you don't attack their vassal. It's obviously them being treacherous. You shouldn't suffer from that. But that was something that happened. So it's good that's been fixed. But yeah, really good patch by the looks of it. There's some really nice changes here. Really nice changes indeed. I was hoping to see something about stability in siege matches, in siege battles, because I have had some issues with that personally. I don't know how widespread that is though. And actually, I'm not sure I've even really told CA about it. I should probably put that in feedback. I don't know why I haven't already. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I need to chase them up on that, see if that's a thing, because yeah, siege battles, big siege battles for me have been a bit weird. So I need to fix that, or at least get someone on fixing it. So yeah, this is great though. I'm really happy with this patch. I don't think I will install the beta just yet. I think I'll carry on with my current campaign and I'll wait for it to go live. So yeah, we'll see. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Total War news, as well as other stuff. I get around. I do stuff anyway. So guys, yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.